Hello, good morning. Here I am again. Today, I'm going to talk about, training our mind to achieve what we want. Now, obviously, I can't talk in a few minutes about this whole subject because it's massive, right? And so, I'm just going to talk a little bit about that, obviously. We often end up thinking that we can't do things based on tradition. I spoke a couple of days ago about tradition, and the prevalent mindset that says, well, the only way you can do this thing is this way, and if you don't do it this way, it's wrong or something bad about it. Now, we talk about maths. There's a thing about maths, right? People seem to be all right with it or they don't. It's one of those things where there doesn't seem to be a middle ground with maths. And there's a whole host of reasons for that, obviously. But for me, one of those things is there's this thing around maths that has been blown up into being, complicated and difficult and a whole host of things that we think we're supposed to know about it when, maths is all around us. Every single place we look in the world, maths is important more than anything. Maths is in nature. The patterns that we see, the recurring patterns. But yet still, people struggle with maths, and it's become this big thing in their mind. But what if we're able to look at those challenges, maths and other things? I'm not a good swimmer. I can't run 5K or 3K or whatever. What if we were able to break those things down into bite-sized pieces that were so small, so tiny, almost insignificant, almost laughable? But what if we were able to break those problems down, those challenges down into minute steps so that actually, instead of there being this big, massive thing, they became bite-sized, manageable steps that we could achieve? What difference would that make? What difference would that make if every day, or at least some reasonable level of regularity, we trained ourselves on those things and gradually improved? I love learning languages, and I don't get to use them as much as I would like to, but I practice. I use a couple of apps for training and for learning languages, and I work on it so that every day I get better. Am I far off? Some of those is how I'd like to be fluent and be able to understand some of those languages, especially the speed. The speed is the killer for me, right? When I'm learning a new language, you think you know words in isolation in the app, and then you hear a native speak it, and it just and it just kind of goes and whatever, and you could get confused by that or not want to try. But that's not how I look at it. I break it down, I do daily exercises, and I keep working, and bit by bit, it starts to sink in. So, whatever it is, it could be a difficult life, significant challenge, or just trying to learn something new. Break it down into bite-sized chunks. Get some help. Again, said this before, there's so much help out there on the internet now. You don't need to do it alone. Find a YouTube channel for someone who has done it, a podcast, a blog, or whatever it is, right? Find someone who's done it before. You don't even need to reinvent the wheel. This isn't like starting from scratch. I don't know where to start. Where you start is go to Google. Where you start is go to YouTube, the second biggest search engine, and that's out there. Where you start is go to Spotify search and find out, other people who've had the same challenge as you, same difficulties, whether it's trying to help your children, whether you're trying to learn something yourself, get better at a sport, learn a language, doesn't matter what it is. There's help out there. And short of not having internet access, right, and not being able to spell or type, right, there are very few things that are there blocking you, apart from you, right? That's the biggest thing. So how do you get into that mindset? Doing a little bit every single day. little habits that then become part of who you are, become part of your identity, part of your lifestyle, just like my walk here, right? I didn't start off doing these walks and doing, an hour and a half of well-being every day. I started doing a few minutes here and there, and I built up every time. So good luck with whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve, whatever challenge, whatever new thing you're trying to learn. Let me know what it is. If I can help in any way, provide some advice, support, encouragement, motivation. Take care. Love and respect. Bless up, and one love. Peace.